All right, so we're back here live with the Davidoff Year of the Tiger, which is 5x52. It's the smallest release size of the Chinese Zodiac cigars. And I wanted to film this down in Florida because Emil and I smoked a couple of these, and he was nice enough to give me a third one here to review. And I really wanted to do it at his place there in Florida, but I just didn't have enough time. So I'm finally getting to doing a review on the Year of the Tiger. Anyway, all that other stuff that's in there with the Year of the Tiger, with the lines and how they do that and everything like that. Plenty of other people that'll tell you about that. So I'm just going to cut it, light it, and smoke it, and we'll see how it is. I will say, though, that this cigar is, what, about 40 bucks a stick. So it's pretty expensive. There we go. All right, let's light this baby up. Right out the gate, it's got a bit of a girthiness in there with the tobacco, and there's a bit of a citrus note that's there. One thing to note is that we did some side-by-sides down there, and this is one of the ones we did a side-by-side on. Out of the same box, same cigars, two completely different taste profiles on it, which is kind of bizarre. So that's another thing. There was a little bit of an inconsistency. But that happens in a lot of things. Well, Cuban cigars quite a bit. But yeah, you can have the same box of cigars, pull two cigars out of the same box, and smoke them side by side, and they can be completely different flavor profiles. Just kind of the way it is. All that smoke coming out of my nose, this should be the Year of the Dragon. Wow. If you light tugs on this thing and it's producing plenty of smoke, it's something that I would expect from a Davidoff, though, construction-wise, being able to get a perfect draw out of it and so on and so forth. So that's a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to smoke this down somewhere around here, and I will be back with the tasting notes. Back with the tasting notes on the Davidoff Year of the Tiger. So like I said, the cigar opened up with that citrus note along with tobacco, and as it developed in the first half of the cigar, there was that citrus that became quite predominant. It was predominant throughout the entire cigar, along with the cedar note, which was also predominant throughout the entire cigar. The retro had this citrusy, cedary retro, along with the maltiness in there. The finish on the palate was that citrus and cedar, along with the cacao finish on there. As the cigar went down through the first half into the second half, the citrus and the cedar really ramped up and became quite strong in the retro and on the palate. That maltiness tamped back quite a bit, although I did catch a maltiness here and there throughout the second half, but it wasn't as predominant as it was in the first half. And the cacao on the finish on the palate was also kind of just like that maltiness. It was there sometimes and sometimes it wasn't. Strength and body-wise, well, I mean, nicotine-wise, it seems like this cigar's got a bit of kick to it. Body and strength, I'd say about a medium plus body and strength, somewhere around there. And the nicotine was pretty high on it, I think, personally. But as far as it goes for this cigar and me say, doing a box purchase or something like that on it, I would really be hesitant to do that at $40 a stick for these cigars. But that's just me. I'm some knucklehead on the internet. And if you do decide to buy a box, hopefully we'll be able to compare notes in the future. But as far as it goes for me, I'm going to kind of spend my money elsewhere. And as far as the CA rating goes on this thing, I would have to say right around 88. There was a really nice balance in the first half of the cigar, which was really quite pleasant with that maltiness mixed in with the citrus and the cedar and the cacao on the finish with the citrus and the cedar. It was really nice and balanced and quite pleasant. But in the second half, it just really wasn't as balanced to me personally. And that's just another blemish against the cigar, so to speak. So anyway, take that for what it's worth. I've rambled on enough, and that's enough out of me.